So far, we are done with all the basic structure of Python. We are done with decision-making statements, loops, and data structures as well. And by the way, these are the things which are the backbone of any programming language, not only Python, right? Now, you can implement each and everything by using the tools that we have in hand so far. But these tools can only help us if the problem is smaller, if scale of the problem is not very large. Then we can go ahead, simply write a program by using for loop, by using if statement, by using while loop or something like that, by creating a few variables or data structures, and we are good to go. But what if we have to work on a larger program? Okay, let me give you an example. What if I have to make a cup of tea? Not a big deal. I'll go over there, add a few components of tea, mix them together, I'll drink a tea. That's it. One-man job. But what if I have to build a house? Will I do it alone? For example, if I start building the house alone, let's say the structure of the house, the gray structure of the house will be built. Then I'll be acting, first of all, I was acting as a builder. Now I'm acting as a carpenter to work the wood, to perform the woodwork. Then I'll be acting as an electrician to perform all the electricity work inside the house. Then I'll be acting as a painter to paint the house. Well, we all know it is not possible, and this is not how it is done. If we have to build a house, what's the procedure? We call the specialized people to build the particular component of the house. Now, these words are very important to remember. I want to remember these words. For example, I have to build a house. First of all, I'll call a builder who will create the gray structure of the house, who will perform the brickwork of the house. Now, this builder has learned its skills somewhere else, right? He's ready to work. All I have to do is I'll have to call him to work. Or maybe, obviously, I'll have to give him some money as well. So I'll call him to work. He has learned something. His working is already defined in his mind. So he'll come over there upon my call, and he will perform all the work over here in my house. Then he will go. Then I'll call carpenter, who has already learned his work. I just have to call him because his work is defined in his mind. So he will come, he'll perform his work, he will go. Then I'll call another worker. Then I'll call electrician. Then I'll call painter. Then I'll call, I don't know, whom. So this is how I'll be calling specialized people to perform the job. Now, the jobs of these specialized people their jobs are already defined in their mind. I just have to call their jobs. I just have to call them. Same goes out in Python as well. We have been, in Python, we'll create small functions where we'll be defining different codes. For example, we have been working on the code of finding even or odd number, right? And we have written this code many times so far. So what if we have defined this code inside a function, that this is how we find even and odd number. This is the number, tell me if it is even or odd. This is the function we have defined. Now, whenever we need to use it, all we have to do what? We have to call it. And it will tell us if it is even or odd. This is called functions, where the code will be defined and you can reuse it as many times as I want. If I don't have functions, then I'll be writing the code of finding even and odd numbers whenever I need inside my program. And when you're working on large scale projects, it is not, it is not feasible to do that. It is not a good practice to do, to write duplicate codes over there. Why? Because let's say I have duplicated my code 10 times. Now, if I have to make change in that code, I'll have to make changes on 10 places. And what if I forget to make changes at one place? There will be a bug, and it will take a lot of time for me to figure out where is the bug. So what if I have to what if I have written that code in a function and I'm calling that function 10 times inside my code? Now, if there is a bug, I know where is the definition of this function, right? I'll go over there, I'll correct it, right? So I know this, again, this is the theoretical explanation of the function. Practical thing is coming up. There are multiple types of functions. For example, there are built-in functions in Python that we don't have to define, but Python has already defined it. Then what if we want to define our own functions, user-defined functions? Then what are the arguments and parameters? What are the value returning functions? What are the Boolean functions? We are going to learn everything inside this course.